Daily Live episode number 80. We are just getting locked in. All right, LinkedIn, we are here, just waiting for YouTube. And here we go. Okay. So, what you see behind me is something that I always enjoyed going through. And as how do you even say it? As a leader, I'm sure you also must be taking your children to all these big malls. And when you take them to these arcade places and stuff, they literally tell you to take them every place so that they can burn your money and everything. So the logic is, how do you ensure that you give them the best experience by not pinching your pocket? And how do you also ensure that you I was having just a little technical error, yeah. So how do you also ensure that you learn a lot by installing these communication frameworks that we're going to talk about in today's episode? Now, this episode, I've been planning to record it anyway for the last 3.5 months, but I somehow felt that the milk needed to boil properly. And then finally, when we are talking about all these communication frameworks and stuff, well, if the last one was all about eating in an unlimited buffet, why not this be about this place? So personally, I'm a very big fan of this place called Time Zone. I mean, there's no sponsorships, nothing of this sort whatsoever. It's just that I always used to enjoy the way Time Zone treated its people. So it all goes back into my school days. We never went to any malls as such because the place in Kolkata where we used to stay, malls would be way too far. And even though we wanted to travel, there was way too many bus change and then auto change and a lot of stuff. So we never really went there. The first time when we went to a mall, I still remember I was in class 6. So we went to this place called South City Mall and we were hanging out all throughout. And that was the first ever time we had shawarma roll. Great experience overall. And when we went to that mall, we went to this place called the Time Zone. And I was blown away. Such high energy music going on, full-fledged kids playing all across, bowling happening, so many things so many different forms of games, exactly what you see behind me. And it felt so good. Now, when I went to the counter to check, the minimum ticket that you had to purchase was 1,500. And as usual, my brother and I, we kept asking Baba, please, but he was very strict. No chance. Mummy raised us up in such a manner where she wouldn't necessarily buy the things that we would ask. She would allow us to be patient and she would get us, in retrospection, now I feel far bigger experiences than we could have ever imagined. But then as a child, you always dream of playing these kind of games without any restrictions whatsoever. So what happened is there was this birthday celebration that I wanted to experience, and fortunately, that was a time when I was in Chennai. So I asked Yogeshwari, "Come on, let's plan something," and she took me. It was a complete surprise for me, and she took me to this time zone for the very first time, where there were no restrictions. We did a proper top up recharge and everything. Now, my brother had a time zone card and he said, I will anyways not use it and all. I don't want the money and balance to get wasted. Why don't you keep the card? So I kept the time zone card with me. Anyways, I love collecting those PVC format cards, and it's really good for me. So we used that same card to recharge, and we had a couple of very interesting offers as well in the card. So we recharged it, and all the way from 11 o'clock we started playing until 5:30. We wanted to play till 10 p.m. in the night, but because there were way too many kids, the sounds and all was more. And when kids scream, already the place is in such a manner that the sound is huge. So we both started getting headache and all when we came out. But that experience taught us that how to approach these games, how to approach the people, what are the staffs responsible for, and considering that this is again one of the service industry, the way time zone works is you recharge once, but then the card validity and the balance validity is available for another complete 1 year. So the way that it works is you play games, and if you there are certain games like you can see this one, or even these ones, the ones that you see behind me, these are the games that you play. If you play, you win tickets. And the more tickets you win, you play these games, you get points. In exchange of points, you get tickets. The tickets gets added in your card, and you can exchange these tickets to get gifts. Gifts could include all the way from board games to, if you collect enough tickets. I think I've already got a suitcase, won a suitcase from there, and then I won Thor's hammer. A lot of these different board games and stuff is what I have won already so far. So for me, I realized that I don't have any such demands. I just like having fun with my friends and family, fun that involves playing these kind of games. So maybe at some point of time in future, I don't know, I might have my own PlayStation kit or a proper game room and all. That's anyways the dream that my brother and I have. But again, I don't want to delve too deep into the story. Let's come to the frameworks right now. This is what you need to understand as a leader. In one of the time zone experiences, I did not feel very good because of the way the staff behaved, the way they did not cater to what I was asking them and telling them. There are obviously some games that suddenly they will stop working, or the power will get cut, or something or the other will happen. And they have this kind gesture to keep customers right in front. So what they do is they will reverse the game, they will add all those new stuff, couple of balances and all. So I didn't have that good experience, and I complained. When I complained, of course, I found out which email ID to complain and all. And I thought maybe it's just the way that it is. I also put a very negative Google review and all, everything what I could do from my power. Now, the way that I complain, I don't blast. I just share the exact concern exactly as it is. This is what happened. This is how it was not dealt with properly. This was the tone. This is what should have happened. This is how it could have dealt. Now, I am able to give this such a constructive way of sharing that, so that I know that it adds as an example so that they can learn from it. And because I come from the training and development industry, I lead the training and development teams as well. So for me, it is mandatory that I give feedback in such a manner where they feel that, okay, this is something that we really need to correct. Now, immediately what happened is the national leader, as in the zonal leader, he probably saw the mail and he wrote, tagging the specific leaders responsible for that particular branch. Under that were their email IDs and their phone numbers. So I can literally now call them up and talk to them. And that's exactly what I did. When I spoke to them, they were so courteous. And that's what brings me to that foundation, that when you are in the service industry, especially as a customer, they really treat you with respect, and they treat you with even more respect when you treat them with respect. So when I called them up and I told them about my name, when did I go, and my card details and everything, they really listened. And not just that, they obviously overcompensated with a couple of bowling games, and they told me, please do visit there one more time. And we did visit one more time. The area manager and the came to visit, and that was such a good experience, because it really felt good that they cared. Now, slowly, for those of you who know, that I moved away slightly from sales and marketing, and I moved towards head of training and development. Now, training and development, learning and development, these are units which I'm so proud of, because there's a lot of things that comes into it. As a part of learning and development, the first thing that comes in is tech ops. So in order to give customers a smooth experience, I need to actually sit down and fix all those things. Similarly, to ensure that these games are functioning better, they have specific engineers to make sure that all these games are functioning properly. The second is creating new products. So as a part of Sunsden, we are creating different uh, the same speak to lead live cohort. We are constantly upgrading, making it a better experience, adding more frameworks, simplifying the journey a little bit more. And that's a constant process. And then the most important one, which is customer support and customer excellence. It baffles me, it shocks me, it surprises me to the core how much all of these big, humongous giant of businesses spend enormous amounts of money on advertising and marketing, even on sales, to get customers. But then the moment they get customers, what are you really doing to take care of those customers? Because a good customer experience goes such a long way that they bring in 10 more customers. I know the fact that I had such a good experience in time zone, even to this date, there is a proper date planned where I will take my brother, I'll take my cousins, I'll take my nephews and nieces. All of us together will go to play in time zone for the entire day. And that's something that I already have in mind. Whenever I go for a vacation at home, I might as well go there with my parents as well. But how is that possible? Every company comes up with certain offers. So time zone has some very, very unique offers. So the way that I do it, I'm giving you my strategy, and this is how everything works. The moment you're planning to go to any of the time zone outlets, what I love to do is I like to contact the time zone people. And the best way to do so is to write an email. Now, even before you write an email, if you are able to find their contact number, if you're able to find contact details, for now, I haven't really found out a contact number that I can interact with. However, because I had such a wrong experience, I have the area manager's contact number. So I call him up directly and I tell him, sir, my name is so and so. I hope you remember. And surprisingly, he does remember, because everyone remembers people who communicate with the heart and soul. So he's like, yes, 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 Dr. Surya, please tell me how can I help you? And I tell him, sir, so and so date, I'm planning to visit this particular place. Recently, I visited there with my friends as well. So, can you give me a thought, your thoughts on how the the venue is? What are the things I need to keep in mind? And he will be like, you know what, sir, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the number of the counter manager, and I will also inform the counter that you're going to be there. So he gives me the number and I call them up as well. And I'm already building rapport. So I just wanted to check in, how is the venue? What are the kind of games that are there? What is the best time to come? And I'm already building rapport just by asking open-ended, honest questions. And this is such a pure thing. I cannot stress on the importance of just speaking what's there in your heart with the right tone. And that instantly builds rapport with people. So the moment I speak, the person is always very, very kind, and they are very, very courteous and kind. Very, very courteous and kind. So it feels really, really good to have a good conversation. So once the plan and everything is sorted, then we go in. So the moment I go in, there is always a counter where there is a proper person who's taking care of all the cards and transactions and everything. So I give them the card. I tell them that, can you please check the balance and let me know how much it is there? Although I know what balance and everything is there, they check and they let me know. And then I immediately am building a rapport. What are the games that you would recommend? What are the games that I should start with? And then moving all across the entire venue and checking out all the different games that I'm going to play. Now, in this moment, there's something very important to understand. I told you about the offers, right? So Time Zone has some very, very interesting offers, at least at this point when I'm doing the live. Saturdays and Sundays are the busiest days because children, it's a place for children. So children, there'll be a lot of children, and you don't want so many children to be there. There's also going to be a bowling zone where adults usually bowl. So that's how they attract adults as well. Personally, I'm not a very big fan of bowling. I feel it's a waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy, because I'm not winning any tickets. So what they have done is they've started a Thursday bowling, at least at this point when I'm recording this live. Thursday bowling is 99 rupees for 10 throws, which I feel is a fair deal. Tuesdays is a half day Tuesday, which means all the games, majority of them, they are half the price. So you look at all these games behind me, they're called as ticket games, which means when you play those games, you win points, and in exchange of the points, you get tickets which gets added, like whatever I told you right at the start. So what I personally prefer is to play the games which has a lot of tickets. Now that could be, which means all those car races and bike races and all those things is what I play on Thursdays, because on Thursdays, video games are 9 rupees per tap. So that's a steal deal. You can do as many times racing and everything as you want. You just have to tap, and that's all that it takes, 9 rupees. So I don't have to worry about tickets on Thursdays. I don't have to worry about bowling on Thursdays, and I can do all of only these things all throughout, never even stop. But when I look at the ticket games, these kind of games, which includes a short bowling game. Somewhere over here you can see, and then here there is this thing where you have to hit the entire thing. The number of points that you get, that much of tickets you're going to get. And then beside this, there is this bouncing thing, so you're going to throw the basketballs and stuff. There are all these different crazy games that are there, so you get to experience all of that at literally half the price. Now, Tuesday is also a very good time. Usually, what I prefer to do is, I know that December, January is winter vacations for children. So, children will be there from morning till night. In the evenings, parents bring their children. The malls are usually crowded in the evening. So, I know for sure that I would prefer to go early in the morning when it's less crowded and play all the games over there. And that's my plan. So, preferably as a leader, let's just say if I have children, what I would do is I would decide to bunk school for the children on that day. I would take a leave from my job that day, and that's the entire day we would go out and enjoy in the entire time zone experience together as a family. That's how I would do if I have a family at some point of time in my life. At this present moment, I just love going out with my friends, and we plan it exactly in that manner in itself, where we can go on weekdays, nicely enjoy it all throughout. Nobody's there to disturb us. We can explore as many games as we want. Now, that is the highest value for money. We play games at half the price and we earn more tickets. So, tickets. At this point of time, when I'm recording this, I almost have, I think, around 46,000 tickets. I plan to take it all the way to 1 lakh. And then maybe I'll take up an air fryer prize or some big suitcase and all. I haven't thought about it. We'll figure it out when we reach there. Till now, I'm saving my tickets. Previously, like I mentioned, I've always got the different board games and all those things. Now, during this entire period of time, what I do is, let's just say anytime a device gets faulty, or I miss any particular game, or something or the other gets wrong, what I always do is, because I built initial rapport with the people, I walk up to them and I tell them that, see, this is what is wrong. This is what is wrong. So can you please fix it? So they'll come and fix the thing, and they'll also reverse my games and all those things. That is what. So it feels very good to see that you will not get the kind of experience that you want unless you walk up to them and tell them the exact problem that is there. And then the way that I like to approach is, I never charge anyone. I just ask very curious, open-ended question. So there's this one game called as the Avengers game. It's like a token drop game. So you tap and you get a couple of taps to play. When you tap, a coin flows in, and if you hit within a particular range, then either coins are going to fall or something is going to happen, and then you can push cards in, and each card gives you more points. That's a very strategic game. I love playing that. So in one of the turns, what happens is, I had a card dropped, but I'm not able to see it. So I walk up to them and I tell them, sir, there are 4 cards that are already dropped. Not by the time, 4 cards only had dropped, but I'm not able to find the cards. So what they did is, okay, sir, like, they didn't want to take out the cards because they thought again they'll have to fix a lot of things. They said, sir, it's okay. You keep playing. When you finish, I'll adjust the cards like that. And that way I felt, wow, it's good because I already had 5 cards. I might have a lot of repetitions as well. So if I give them the 5 cards, they're going to take all the cards. And if you complete the 9 card set, you get 3,000 tickets. So I felt it was a steal deal. But again, the way that I communicated with him is what made him give me those tickets. Also, at the same time, when I'm done playing, I always make it a point to whoever is there at that point of time. I make sure to go to them and I tell them how amazing it was, the experience. Even the security guard who's in charge of watching over all the prizes and everything, I also go in and tell him, thank you so much for such a beautiful experience. This is how much tickets I have got. And together they are all celebrating. And then I always end up giving a good review in Google and also emailing them of how the overall experience was. Because I know every single person who's working there are working really hard. And that little boost of good feedback can do the world of good for them. That is how I enjoy playing Time Zone. Now, there's one more aspect of it itself. How do you recharge? So the way that happens is, usually for X amount, they give you X plus something amount of tickets. So the way X plus something amount of, not tickets exactly, but credit. The credit which is added into your card, and as and when you tap or swipe any of the cards, the amount in terms of the credit that's there in the card continues to deplete. And as the balance gets over, you'll again have to top it up. So what I have figured out is Time Zone comes up with these deals called as double dollars, triple dollar deals, in which you, if you are recharging for X amount, you get triple the amount of credits in your card. Now think about it. This only happens once or twice in a year. So I wait for that time only for that time. I save up enough money and I recharge only and only that specific amount itself. Now, the last time I did a recharge was almost 5,000 and a little more. And I got 15,000 worth credits in my card. Now, if 15,000 credits I have in my card, I've already observed this. Even if I play the entire day, I'm not able to cross anything more than 10,000, because I never play those expensive games like the VR games or the bowling and all. If I played those games, maybe the credits would have gotten over far too sooner, but I don't. So I believe in playing only the ticket games. So that way I don't get to spend that much money. Because again, even more because I'm going on Tuesdays, the half day Tuesdays, where all the games prices, especially the ticketing game prices, are halved. So that way, for you as a leader, you can literally strategize this and team up with the kids in your house to plan it as well. That, okay, I'm only going to recharge it on triple dollar deals, and we will only go on so and so day. So prepare well, study well for your exams, do well. If you do well, then we're going to celebrate it over there in Time Zone. Overall, I think for me to wait for this long, like this year, I'm going to turn 30. So to be able to be in that zone where I know right now, yes, I can enjoy as much as possible in this kind of arcade games, and nobody's there to stop me. The best part is you get that complete freedom, but nothing happens until and unless a good set of communication unfolds. So this is how I plan the arcade experience, and these are the communication frameworks that I always implement. I want you to let me know in the comments below, uh, what are your thoughts of the arcade and how are you planning to enjoy it. If you haven't yet explored, you'll be blown away on, even as an adult, how much more you can enjoy. So do try and cherish it. You'll never regret it, that's for sure. Now, just because I don't have any other fascinations, like I don't have fascination for a car or bike or any of those things for that matter. No, I just like to keep things minimalistic. This is the only thing that I like to enjoy and literally pamper myself with. And again, that's my choice. If you decide to take this choice as well, it's going to be a fascinating experience for you as well. Yeah. So that completes episode number 80. We've hit some magic numbers here so far, and I'm feeling very proud that I'm slowly bringing back the consistency. That's something that I plan to continue for the rest of this year at least. So I'm going to see you in the next episode tomorrow, sharp 8:30 a.m. This is Dr. Surya. Love you so much.